So we'll just take our quick look at the calendar and then we'll talk about the test, which is coming up. So today is class number 10. It's our full period review day for the test. Also, what is due today? Project number 2 is due, so hopefully it's done. You can put it right in the folder. I will give you back the quiz that we just took. The results were a little bit higher than the first quiz, so hopefully a lot of people are happy with those. But I'll hand them back in just a few minutes. Our first test is coming up on Friday. And the test is going to cover, well, everything we've done so far this year. You've got the list of classes right up above there highlighted. Everything in the first 9 classes is what's covered on the test. Another way to say that is everything in the packet is what's covered on the test. You'll take the test Friday. On Monday, I will give you a brand new thick packet, okay? So let's just talk very generally about the test. Again, on page 56, the last page. We're going to Ernie for the subject areas.
Subject areas for the test: focuses, functions, models, solution, sketching, limits.
Okay, so those are the focuses, and as we run through maybe some slightly more detailed version of what's on the test, what you're going to be doing as you prepare is making sure you understand every one of these things. Oh, what kinds of questions have we answered about rational functions? What might Ian ask us to do on the test about evaluating a limit? Okay, so let's go to types of functions for Richard. It's right below focuses, types of functions. Okay, thank you. Abby, are you up for reading? Okay, we'll come back to Andy. Josiah, continuity. Okay, Todd, derivatives. Okay, that right there was a very, very condensed list of the main topics that we've covered so far this semester. That's really not the list you should be studying from. The list you should be studying from is much more detailed, and we will find it here. There. The list you want to study from is on page 50. And on page 50, you'll see a numbered list of things that I would like you to be able to do when you come prepared to take that test on Friday. I think there are 23 things in this list. And again, as you're studying, kind of go through this. All right, can I determine whether a function is continuous on an interval? If you can, put a check. If you can't, circle it and make sure you do practice problems that have to do with that kind of thing. And then at the bottom are some other resources you could consider. There's more practice problems for you to try. You can look over old homework assignments, the quizzes, the projects, and then finally the sample test problems, which is what we'll be focusing on today. So we're going to spend the bulk of the period just having you guys work in partners or in groups on the sample test problems. And so before we do that, just some other general stuff about the test. So where are we now? Can we go to Bubba for you will be able? All right, so this is the first time that I've actually written that little thing about bringing it to the final exam in the packet. On every test, you'll be able to make up a 1-page sheet of reference material for yourself. On the final exam, you will be allowed 3 pieces of reference material, 3 sheets of paper. And oftentimes when we get to the final exam, and I announce that at the start of December, people are like, oh man, I threw away all my reference sheets for the first 3 tests. So putting it out there, use it, and then hang on to it. You'll be able to use it again on the final. Okay, let's go to Tiffany. The test is? (8 a.m. to 10 a.m. window. That is your window. So if you'd like extra, you could plan to come here at 8:40, and that's totally fine. But if you'd like extra time, if you're worried that maybe you won't be able to finish on time, show up earlier if at all possible. So 8 to 10 is your window in case anybody's watching this video from the other class. 10 to 12 is the window for the other class. The test is written to be 1 hour long. The test is not even written to be an hour 10. So if you're moving and you got a good handle on everything, I won't be surprised if some people finish before an hour is up. But I don't want this to be like a test to make sure you're a speed demon at calculus. I want you to have the time to digest and process and show me what you know. So I'm willing to give everybody twice as much time as the test is written to be. But what that means is if you show up at 8:40 and then 10 o'clock comes and you say, hey, Ian, I need another half an hour, but I have to go to physics, that puts me in a very awkward position. I don't want to say, don't go to physics. I also don't want to say, come back after physics and keep taking the test. So if there's any concern about not finishing this test on time, try to show up early. If you would like to start early, but for some reason you can't get here at 8, just see me right after class. Maybe you're on the earliest bus that happens and you can't get here any earlier, but you want extra time. We'll figure something out. But let me know today if you want to come early, but you physically cannot get here before. Okay, let's go to Toby. I encourage. Thank you. Let's go to Chris.
There is no formal homework next study. So you'll find your assignment.
All right, so just to be clear, I know some of you are going to claim that I never signed anything for Monday, but it is right here, and I'm telling you right now, this is the assignment for Monday. It's just questions of the day. There's no homework. There's just to read a section ahead, answer a couple of questions about it. And can I say, I know some of us have no intention of having the questions of the day count for a grade. I can tell because some of you have never turned in a questions of the day assignment, and that's totally your choice. But even if that is the case, I'm really hoping that everybody will answer this question for me. It is your way of giving me feedback on how the class is going for you right now and how could it be going better, what can you do, what can I do, and I'd really like everybody to turn that in on Monday, regardless of whether or not you want it to count for a grade. Is that fair? Okay, so that's due Monday, but again, you don't need to worry about any of that until after you take the test Friday. All right, do we have any general questions about the test? Joe. Okay, Jess, Joe. I will give the quiz back today. Yeah, just a couple of minutes. Any other questions? All right, so here's what I'd like us to do. We have 62 minutes, just over an hour. By the time I finish talking, we'll have 60. But if you go back to the sample test problems on page 51, I'm hoping that some of us have had a chance to go through and look at some of these, in which case I will walk around and answer questions. But even if you haven't had a chance to look through any of these, you can just spend the next hour working on any of these that you feel like. Don't feel like you have to start at 1 and go to number 2. If there's some particular kind of problem you need to work on, go find it and practice it here. And just to be clear, I have made videos of me going through each of those problems. There is a link on the syllabus, but if you just want to start from scratch on YouTube, all you need is my username, GCC Math Winokur, no spaces. And my channel will be the first thing that comes up. And inside of here, you will find like my daily, like here was the class for Monday, and later today we'll have the class for today. But what you want to do is go to the playlists. And inside of there, you will find all of my sample test videos. So you're looking for 201 sample test 1, and it's 10 videos long because there are 10 problems that you guys are about to look at, and you'll find them, I guess they're over here or down here, and you can just zip to problem 7 if that's the one you want to look at. Bubba. Mm-hmm. The exam is, I think it's 3 pages of questions, 3 pages of questions, front and back. Any other questions? Okay, so start on those sample test problems, raise the flag if you get stuck, work with each other as usual, and let's see how far we can get.